2023 was a great year for the stock market, with the S&P 500 up over 24%. This completely knocked out the 2022 decline, and we're now back to all-time highs. I, like many of you, have ridden the market roller coaster over the past few years. I continue to stay invested, earn dividends, and buy when I find a good opportunity. With these recent gains, momentum has started to return. More investors who were on the sidelines are now getting back into the market. Ironically, this is after we've already risen 24%. That highlights one of the major flaws with market timing. You don't know exactly when the overall market will increase, decrease, etc. By trying to time the market, you may have missed out on this 15% rally in just the past 2 months. I don't know what the future holds, but I'll continue to keep learning and improve my investing strategy. That involves finding better stocks and avoiding killer mistakes. If you've been following the channel a long time, then you know some of these lessons we've learned along the way. Every month, I share an update of my long-term dividend growth stock portfolio. Since 2020, you've watched me grow the account from $30,000 all the way to $146.5 thousand. Each update, I share buys, sells, and changes in my investing strategy. I do this to hold myself accountable and keep working towards my goal of financial freedom. However, this dividend account is only one part of my financial strategy. I have 2 more brokerage accounts which I'll occasionally provide updates on, plus my various income sources and savings. These are all an important part of organizing your financial future. I ended 2023 with a new personal high for liquid net worth at $240,000. I've been tracking my net worth over the years, showing the progress throughout high school, college, and early adulthood. For context, I'm 24, so I still have a long time horizon to reach my financial goals, but it's important to actually keep track of this and work to improve these metrics. Here you can see my net worth over the years. When you're young, the largest factor in growing your net worth will be your income. Before you can invest a meaningful amount, you need to actually have the capital. Over time, you can let your money work for you, building up to a point where your investment growth far exceeds your actively earned income. I'm still at the phase where income really moves the needle. From 2019 to 2023, I've grown my liquid net worth from $39,000 to just under $240,000. That's a $200,000 increase in 4 years. In that time, my worth grew at a 56.78% compound annual growth rate. The best is still yet to come. In today's video, I'm going to share 3 dividend investing goals that I personally have for 2024. On top of this, I'll share a few bonus business goals. Of course, I'll still provide a brief update of the overall progress of my long-term dividend growth stock portfolio. Let's roll the intro. My name is Zach, this is Dividend Data, and you should leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video. Throughout, I'll be using my stock research and portfolio tracking tool, dividenddata.com. Check it out with the link in the description and pinned comment. The current value of my dividend portfolio is $146,447. With $109,987 invested, I have a total return of 33.15%. This account contains 13 stocks with it heavily concentrated among my top holdings. In 2023, I built up large positions in Visa and Broadcom. My massive 2022 Microsoft investment started to pay off. I also added big dividend payers like Altria at a great valuation. Overall, I invested $16,497 into my dividend portfolio in 2023. That averages out to $1,374 a month. On top of this, I earned $3,515.35 in dividends, which was all reinvested to buy more stocks. My portfolio value grew $39,700. That increased my total return from 14.1% after a poor 2022 to 33.15%. I'm set to continue growing from here. My projected annual dividend income now sits at $4,280. That's $1,070 every quarter, $356 every month, $11.73 every day, and 49 cents every hour. This January, I'm expected to earn $541.62. This was boosted by the return of Disney's dividend, which will likely be semi-annual. My dividends mostly come in a quarterly schedule, giving me 3-month rotations. February will be my lowest month by far, with March and April close around $500. Overall, my portfolio's yield on cost is 3.56%. It has some high-yield, lower-growth stocks and some low-yield, high-growth stocks. Overall, I try to optimize for total return. From reinvesting dividends, I've boosted that overall yield on initial dollars invested to 3.89%. That is the dividend snowball effect at work. I continue to reinvest all earned dividend payments. Since starting my dividend portfolio, I've earned $11,000 in dividends. This December, I just made $477.70. That included $26.61 from Visa, $24.69 from Kroger, $152.59 from ExxonMobil, $31.54 from Chevron, $75.96 from Microsoft, $107.51 from T. Rowe Price, and $58.80 from Broadcom. I expect to hit record dividend income next year and continue growing from there. So what are my top 3 dividend investing goals for 2024? Goal number 1 is to average at least $2,000 a month invested. That is about a $700 increase from 2023. For me, this will not be dollar cost averaging, although that is a great investment strategy for many. Instead, I'll be taking a more active approach and looking for opportunities to invest heavily when they're available. For example, I did this in October, where I invested $9,000 in just that month. In November and December, I did not buy any stocks aside from reinvesting dividends. That is because the market soared 15% in those months, so stocks became more expensive. I like to be more selective with buying opportunities. There's not going to be a no-brainer 24/7. That said, dollar cost averaging is a great strategy for most people. Time in the market beats timing the market. Heck, I even do a form of dollar cost averaging with my reinvested dividends. To sum up goal number 1, it's just to invest more in 2024. Goal number 2 is to earn $4.5 thousand in 2024 dividends. That would be a $1,000 increase or 28% year over year. With dividend growth, reinvested dividends, and new capital added, I think this is very achievable. Likewise, I want to end 2024 with a higher projected annual dividend income. I'm targeting at least $5,000. If I invest according to goal number 1, then I should hit that easy. Goal number 3 is to continue building up a cash position. I started doing this in 2023 after realizing its importance during the 2022 market crash. You need to be in a position of financial strength with cash in order to take advantage of market opportunities. There were so many no-brainer buys that I identified and took advantage of. I need to make sure that I'm prepared to invest even bigger the next time those come around. I now have over $35,000 in a cash account saved up. My goal is to continue growing that to at least $50,000 in 2024. This cash can be used either when a great market opportunity arises or used to reinvest in my business. Speaking of my business, I have a lot of goals for this YouTube channel and my stock research tool, dividenddata.com. With YouTube, the goal is consistency. I want to make sure I release a video every single week. On top of this, I have a few ideas for new video series that I might want to start. More on that later. With dividenddata.com, it's my number 1 focus going into 2024. I'm going to make major improvements throughout the year. More features, better user experience, and more education. I'm not going to share all my plans yet, but there will be a lot of announcements this year. I just recently built a massive help center to help better walk people through the product features and learn key definitions for each financial concept. I also recently added a watch list feature where you can save stocks and track their performance relative to the 50 and 200-day price average. Throughout 2024, my goal is to make sure dividenddata.com members keep getting more and more value out of the service. The goal is that the product makes members far more than they spend. Dividenddata.com is already light years more valuable than my initial product. That was the first web app I ever developed, so the learning has been priceless. I recommend you check it out if you only ever used the early version. In addition to this, I want to add way more value to my Discord community in 2024. We currently have over 1,300 dividend investors that you can communicate with and share investing strategies. People have already been sharing their 2024 goals as well. You can gain access with a membership to dividenddata.com. However, you can also get into the Discord server for cheaper by supporting Dividend Data on Patreon. You can join for just $5. Link in the description. Please leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see future portfolio updates. Sign up for dividenddata.com if you want to use the research tool I've been showing throughout. If the software helps you identify just one better investment, then it pays for itself. Thanks for watching.